Hello, Algebra class, and welcome to this video explaining my answers to your Unit 7 practice quiz. So here in front of you, you can see all of my answers. I encourage you to pause the video and check them, and then fast forward and find the ones that you would like to go over. So let's start going over them, starting with number 1. Okay, so it says find the degree and leading coefficient of each of the polynomials. For the first one here, it's just one term, so I'm just going to add the exponents. 8, 2, and 3 is 13, so it's degree 13, and the leading coefficient is just the coefficient of the term, which is 1. For number 2, it's not in standard form, and when I put it in standard form, this degree 9 term goes out in front. So the polynomial is degree 9, and the leading coefficient is this negative 3. For number 3, the 7, the 5, and the 11 are the degrees of each of the terms. So this is the highest term. So the whole polynomial is degree 11, and the leading coefficient would be 2. And for number 4, it's just a constant. So it's degree 0, and the leading coefficient is rad 5. Okay, so for number 5, we have to add them together. And we're going to look for like terms. So 2x squared and 5x squared is 7x squared. Minus x and minus 3x is minus 11x. Plus 19, no, there's no constant in the other one, so it's plus 19. The only thing left is x cubed, which actually is going to go in front if I put things in standard form. So I have a degree 3 polynomial. All right, number 6. This isn't right. When I combine my x squareds, I get negative 8x squared minus a minus 2x squared, which is minus 6x squared. For my linear terms, though, 7x minus a minus 5x is 7x plus 5x, which is plus 12x. And then I have 8 minus 19, which is negative 11. All right, now let's get to some distributing. Distribute the 5, and I get 30x squared, or x cubed. Let's actually move this up a little bit. Minus 35x, so I don't want to put that there. I want to treat it like place value. Minus 35x plus 15. And that is minus 24x to the 4th, so that's going to go out in front. Plus 28x squared minus 12x. So there's really only one thing to combine here, and that is the x terms. Everything else has its own. I'm just going to write it here because I don't have much space. Everything else has its own column. So I have negative 24x to the 4th plus 30x squared, or cubed, plus 28x squared. Oh, this is a mess. Let me try writing this again underneath here, and I'll just try to make it small. There we go. Plus 28x squared minus 42x plus 15. Oh, that's a mess. I missed the markers in the smartboard. All right, number 8. This is just straight FOIL. First, outer, inner, last. So my first terms, x squared, 10x, 4x, and 40. So I add them together. I get x squared plus 14x plus 40. Okay, I have a special product here. So it's the first thing squared minus 2 times the first times the second, so minus 16x plus the second thing squared. Here I have the difference of squares. So it's the first thing squared minus the second thing squared. Here, I'm going to bet I meant to have this x be a g squared, but whatever. We'll go with what we got, and I'll FOIL it. So I get 9g squared x plus 24g squared minus 24x minus 64, and there's nothing I can combine. All right, and the last one is going to be another perfect square trinomial. Square this thing, and I get 16x to the fourth plus 2 times the first times the second, so it's 2 times 12x squared, or 24x squared, plus the second thing squared, plus 9. All right, over to the fill in the blanks. This middle term is 2 times x times whatever this is. So that has to be 8, which means this is 8 squared, which is 64. All right, 15, I'm left with the difference of squares. So I must have the square root of the first thing, 3x, plus the square root of the second thing, 5y, times 3x minus 5y. All right, number 14 is just like 13. I see a 24. I'm going to cut that in half and square it. And here, all right, so 36x squared is 6x times 6x. So this thing here has to be 2 times 6x times whatever this blank is. So I get 12x times, well, it has to be a 2. And that last thing has to be 2 squared, which is 4. Don't rush through these. These are tough. All right, find the area of the shaded region. We know that the area of the shaded is equal to the area of the whole minus the area of the unshaded. So let's start with the area of the whole. I get 5x minus 2 times 3x plus 4. And if I FOIL that, I get 15x squared plus 20x minus 6x minus 8. Or 15x squared plus 14x minus 8. And now for the unshaded part, that's 4x times x plus 9. So let's distribute that, and I get 4x squared plus 36x. So now I'm going to subtract the blue minus the red. And when I do that, the area of the shaded is going to be 15x squared minus 4x squared, which is 11x squared. 14x minus 36x is minus 22x. And then I have a minus 8. There you go. There's my answer. How'd you do? Let me know.